Hey everyone, this is Sarah here. Just gonna wait to see if we have more people coming in. All right, 7 o'clock. Hello everyone. I'm Sarah Eggers. I am the web designer and marketer. I'm the person behind your crash course. If you're on the page right now, if you have questions, you can drop them into Chat Tango, which is right below this feed. And I can answer any of your questions. I will be here just for a quick 30 minutes. If you have questions that extend beyond that, I'm happy to stay on later or answer them through email. So I'm just going to wait until we have a few questions. And if you guys can see here, we have a special guest. This is my cat, Kina, who believes that any workspace is an acceptable place for her to hang out. I thought that maybe you guys would like to see her. She's pretty cute. So like I said, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. You can also ask questions outside the course. So for example, if you have questions about implementing something on your WordPress site, you can go ahead and ask those there. I'm happy to give out any advice that you guys are looking for as you're trying to make the best blogs out there. Which I totally know there's people here, but I guess you guys just don't have any questions. You can also just say hi. That's fine. I get to know you guys a little bit more outside of the comment sections of the course. And I hope a lot of you have been enjoying it. Quite a few of you have joined because of the Genius Bloggers Toolkit. That was very exciting to be a part of, and I've really loved getting to meet some other course creators as well, and getting a chance to talk to them and see how their courses are going and what they're doing and being a part of that mastermind. So let me just also pose a question. You know, when you guys go ahead and put in here, what's something that you wish was in the course? Hey, Fiona. How are you? Thanks for popping in. Did you have any questions? Ah, Tammy, that's very sweet of you. Thank you for jumping in just to say that you loved the course. I'm glad that it's worked out really well for you. And it doesn't matter if you guys don't have questions. I'm dedicated to staying in here for the next 26 minutes. So if you want to stick around and entertain me, that's fine. But I wanted to be able to be here for all of you. It's not going to be very often, but I'm going to try and dedicate some time, probably now once every other month, for dedicated Q&A. Thankfully, not too many of you have had problems in the course. Most of the time, if I get an email, it's because once I get a screenshot of the code, maybe someone didn't put a bracket in there. Those are common coders problems, and those get fixed. So far, it looks like you guys are going through the course pretty well. Yeah, Tammy, the inspector tool. It is amazing. So designers use it. It's an absolute lifesaver. And in fact, when I am meeting with potential clients, I always research their website. And if they tell me some of their problems, one of the best ways you estimate time is just by using inspect element and making the changes there to get a good feel of how much coding time it will take. And it's also really fun, like that challenge I gave you to hack celebrity Twitter feeds, which I hope you guys all take that to heart. But if you see a screenshot of a tweet, but not actually can't find the source of it, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because it's very easy to make it look like someone said something even though they didn't. But yeah, inspect element will help you a lot. It also will help you sort of learn stuff. You can start to click around and go, okay, so that's what's affecting this. Tammy said, I totally changed the way I look at screenshots from now on. Yes. Yeah, it's just been, inspect element is really by far one of the most useful tools they're going to learn, which is why that's in the course. I think, trying to remember how early on in learning web design we learned about inspect element, but I think that would be basically like the day 2 challenge, because you have to know a little bit, maybe about like what is a div, what's HTML, CSS, what it looks like. But then after that, you can basically go crazy in an inspect element, turning stuff on, turning stuff off, changing this, seeing what it looks like. Imagine before inspect element, we'd have to make a change, save it, refresh the site and go, and then go back, undo it. Yeah, inspect element is one of the best things in there. So I'm glad that you've really enjoyed it. So Fiona, it must be really early for you out in Australia. What brought you to the course? Let's see. Oh, great. So Tammy's in the part of the course where she's creating a landing page. So that means you've basically wrapped it up. Like once you've made it that far, you're basically a pro at this. You have an updated plugin that I've used to create landing pages in the past. I refuse to pay for lead pages. So yes, you can either build it by scratch, which is what I'm teaching you for those landing pages. However, there are also great free plugins for landing pages. So let me quick find some for you, because I'm going to teach you how to do it. But honestly, you know, if there's an easier way and it's faster, I say, you know, go ahead and go for it. So you can go ahead and use some plugins. Trying to think. So one of my dev friends, Krista Ray, you should also follow her blog. She's some pretty great advice. That's just a smidge less smidge less codey than mine. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat. So this isn't specifically a landing page, but you can use this. So let me drop this in here. So Krista Ray gives advice for, this is for a coming soon page, but you could use her same advice too. And let me just quick share my screen so you guys can see what's going on. So Krista is a fellow WordPress dev. We all hang out together, all of us devs. So she's talking about, and she uses the Coming Soon page plugin. So for some of you, depending on what your landing page needs to be, the Coming Soon plugin would probably work just as well, because then what you can do is you could put something up on a new domain. You can embed forms, you can grab all of your sponsors. And so she talks about the plugin that she uses and all the styling. She gives you screenshots. So that's a good, that's a good way to go for this. So let me stop sharing, jump back over here. So Fiona, it's lunchtime. Woohoo. Well, I'm glad that you could join us during your lunch break. Yeah, it's really hard to pick times. Like, it's super early in the morning in London, and then, it's lunch for you in Australia. I'm going to keep trying to move around times, but it's hard to pick one time where everyone might be free. So Tammy said, when I add code for AWeber in the text part, then save it, update the code. Oh, so Tammy, are you saying the code basically disappears? It says the code always makes up? Like, I just had to add the complete code in again. Or are you saying like the AWeber, it modifies it and you're like, that's not really the code that I needed? Oh, okay, it disappears. Well, that sucks. I haven't had too much of that issue. If you want to email me, like show me a screenshot. Okay, yeah, so part of the code is disappearing. So basically, when you're switching back and forth between the text editor and then, the easy just type in, some of that code is disappearing. And then when you update it, it disappears. I don't know. I'd have to actually be in your version of WordPress and your theme to see why that's happening. Sometimes things try and, it says, oh, you need this, I'm going to simplify it, and they'll try and get rid of your code. But in your case, the code disappearing, that's just a huge pain in the butt. But I'm glad that you already researched it and looked into it, that you're like, okay, for some reason, AWeber landing pages isn't working real well with this. If your code honestly keeps disappearing with it, you removed a plugin and it still happened? Ooh, well, I guess the first part is you always want to tell the people that created. So you could always email the AWeber people outside or drop something in their support forums. But I guess in this case, I'm really excited that you're going to be building your landing page, because you won't need to use, you'll be able to build that from scratch and all of your code won't be disappearing. Yeah, now you understand exactly how web designers and web developers feel when we create code for something and we say, this looks great, and then something else screws it up. So yeah, and so you're going to learn how to build a landing page. That'll be pretty exciting. And if you have questions, you can always email me or just drop the comments on on there. I think there might be. I tried not to give you guys suggestions for working with plugins because I wanted you guys, you know, to get the feel for yourself of what coding up that landing page. But honestly, plugins can save you the work, and they might look, you know, a little bit better. There's a lot of plugins that let you drag and drop. And they'll come with templates. Most of those plugins that are drag and drop, you know, come with a chunk of change. So at that point, you might as well buy something like Lead Pages. And at that, you know, and if that's not something you want to do, learning how to code up your landing pages is super useful. You know, I thought I saw a really good list of landing page plugins. I'm trying to remember what what blog I was reading that on. And by say good plugins, I mean the plugins that are free. Like, I mean, there's plugins that are called like WordPress landing pages. That's free. You can use it. You can also build your code around it. So don't be shy if that's what you want to do. But yeah, definitely try to build it first my way. and then if you're like, no, it'd be way easier, Sarah, then go ahead. Go for it. Use as many plugins as you want. Is it better to use JavaScript over HTML when copying code? So JavaScript, the perk of JavaScript is that it's just one line and that's it. The perk of HTML is if you want to customize anything. So for example, I use ConvertKit. So let me just quick go over here and I'm going to quick share my screen again once I get in. And I just want to show you like the differences between, you know, the difference, you know, if I wanted to embed something for ConvertKit, let's say, assign it. There we go. So, you know, let's say I wanted this checklist here. If we go over into settings, it says embed. So, you know, you'd have different ways you could do it. You have JavaScript, you have the raw HTML. So the benefit of the JavaScript is it's one and go. It'll bring in all of the designs that you've created in this content area, all of those styles. The benefit of the raw HTML is that you can literally go in and change anything you want. So that's where the, you know, you might be like, oh, what is this? Well, you can skip over that. But what you might want to do is like here, you could change what the error message is. Or you can add more custom fields. Or it might be easier for you to change the classes, because this is all designed on, you all know what this looks like. This is all the CSS. You could change all the design. So what this is saying is you would have to copy, you know, a huge page worth, copy it in, or this says, or you can do one strip, one line. The only other difference between the two really would be JavaScript will slow down your page very, very minusculely. So for example, if you have tons of JavaScript loading, you'll see slower load pages. Now I'm talking about you did Google Fonts JavaScript, you had your email thing JavaScript, you had another, like you'd have to have multiple of them. But the more you run, instead of keeping the code like on your site, if you think about it this way, it has to go, okay, I need to go here and get this. So you're slowing down your site because it's having to get information from someplace else. Where if you copied and paste all that raw HTML, it's there, there's no extra step. So that's really the two differences, is how much do you want to customize it? And if you have a slower running site, if you can choose between JavaScript and HTML, your site is running a little slow, then do the HTML rep. That's basically it. That's the difference, Tammy. So most of the time I do use the JavaScript, unless I feel that it won't make too much of a difference. So I do use JavaScript for ConvertKit, but it takes up such a little tiny bit of load time that it's not an issue for me. And it probably won't be for you, but like I said, that'll be something. If you ever do a speed test, like if you go to Google's tools for page tests and it says, hey, you're running a little slow because of JavaScript, you either change where the JavaScript is, which Google will tell you all about that. So it's not the first thing loading, or you can just swap some things out and just put it in as HTML, and that will change your load time. But honestly, image is the big thing if your images aren't optimized, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So it's really your choice, JavaScript over HTML, but like I said, if you want to change some stuff in the HTML, you can make all the changes. In JavaScript, you'd have to change it in the application that gave you JavaScript. And that limits you how much you can play with it, really. That's still such a bummer that AWeber wasn't working for you. Boo. It always stinks when you have to do something new. Or I run into clients who, you know, they bought a theme 3 or 4 years ago on WordPress, and that developer has not released any updates, and their theme just does not work with the latest WordPress, and it just looks horrible. If they would try and update it, so now they have a really old version of WordPress. Now they have plugins that aren't working right because these plugins are being updated for WordPress, and you're like, why can't I have the best of both worlds? It always stinks when there's a great service or a product that you like that just isn't working working well with your site anymore, and it used to. Wow, Tammy, you're so sweet. See, you totally kept me company with your good questions. If Fiona, if you're still hanging in there, you said you're new to blogging, you want to learn as much as possible. Well, that's great. What topics are you blogging about? Okay, Tammy's talking about you could upload. Oh, Fiona. So what kind of organizer? Like organizer, like office and house organization, or like, are you? And then let's see. So Tammy, your idea of the plugin that allows you to create a short code and insert the HTML there. I mean, if you can do the HTML, it probably won't break. JavaScript is the one breaking. Oh, Fiona, yeah, you totally need to blog, and just send me the link in here to your blog. Home organization is and I also stare at catalogs of things that I can't afford and look at these gorgeous homes, and I'm like, I wish my home looked like this, or my office looked like this. So yeah, I'll totally read your blog. You should totally link to it in the chat. And yeah, Tammy, you could try that plugin. Though I am worried that it says really old plugin. I always tell people to be careful with plugins that haven't been tested with the current version of WordPress that you have. So like before you install the plugin, you know, think about it. It shouldn't be too much of a security risk, but that's one of the things is hackers can come through old stuff that isn't kept up to date. Fiona loves organizing.com. Oh my gosh. Brilliant. That'll be so great. Okay. Let me just throw this in my pocket so I remember to bookmark this. Ta-da! Oh, and you're using the Adele theme from Blue Chic. I love Blue Chic. So that's awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys got disconnected. Yeah, I know. Now you guys are anons. Yeah. Yeah, 4 lines of PHP. So if you have to do PHP code, so basically you're going into your theme files, into your header file or something like that, go for it. But I want you to back up your site right before you go for it. And I don't want you to try this like if you just wrote an amazing blog post and lots of people are visiting your site. Don't do this then. Like let all that traffic disappear and then try it. Just in case you have a little bit of white screen of death errors because WordPress doesn't work. Yeah, Tammy, Fiona has a great site. Like I was saying that she uses one of the Blue Chic themes. They are one of my favorite theme builders. They're more on the feminine side, but the customizations are awesome. And they're not too ridiculous. Like, you know, it's not a $200 theme. They're all around about $80. And you can even see in my videos what my site used to be like. I was also using a Blue Chic theme. Of course, I made a child theme of it, changed it up a bit, made it more of my own. And now Tammy is making me want to go on a trip to Bali or something like that. That'd be so great. And then you're using the centric theme off of Genesis. So that's cool. What's my favorite thing to design? My favorite thing is to design are people's blogs. So as a web designer, if you want to do freelance, you could be put on a bunch of company projects where you are just doing one piece. There's tons of other people doing other pieces. But I find that if I work with small businesses, especially bloggers, I get to meet the business owner one-on-one and we get to talk about designs together. Since web design is my side hustle and not my 9-to-5, I can also, and I also do have much lower prices than a lot of other web designers so that, oh, I can tell you what a child theme is, but Tammy, so I can work with new business owners at a price that they can afford because, you know, no one can start off with a $6,000 site, but nor do they need that much design work. So I can work with someone who says, I have $400, what can that get me? And I can get them something very gorgeous and functional. And if there's stuff that they need that's outside their budget, I can usually find, you know, workarounds of like, use this plugin and then use this form. And it's basically what you want, but it's not $1,000, it's free. And so Fiona, I'll give you a quick crash course. Let me Reshare my screen again. And this is one of the tools on my blog's website's resources page that I linked to. You guys can always go, if you're wondering, you say, oh my gosh, I love that person's site, or what theme they're using, you can go to whatwpthemeisthat.com. You put in their URL, and if it's a WordPress theme, sorry, if it's a WordPress site, it'll tell you what theme it is and what child theme it is. And if it can also detect plugins, it'll also list that too. This is a great tool for you guys coming up now, because if you say, I really, like if you make a list of 3 sites that you really love and you find out that 2 of the 3 have the same framework, it'll be super useful. So this is what it is, a parent theme. So Genesis is a super popular parent theme. Tons of designers use it. What it means, see how this is very plain here? A parent theme, someone's done all the work, the JavaScript to make the menus work, all of the structure is there. And then what someone says is, okay, I want to use this structure. So think of it as like someone has built all the framework of the house. I like the way that house looks, but I'm going to peel off all the wallpaper. I'm going to paint over it. I want a new backsplash in the kitchen, and I want to have wood floors. Okay, so you can make all those changes, and it becomes a child theme. So your child theme is saying, keep a lot of the stuff of this theme, it's great, but I'm going to make my own changes. So what will happen is someone will say, oh, I'm going to use CSS to make changes in the colors. Oh, do you know what? I don't like sidebars at all, so I'm just going to say, don't show sidebars. So child themes are what designers do. They'll find the main theme, because why start from scratch? Everyone will have blog pages, everyone will have logins, you know, everyone will have widgets. Why start over when you could find something that's a good foundation, and then you customize it to make it what you want it to be? So for example, this is the child theme. It's called Centric Theme. It is built on top of Genesis. That is the parent theme. So if you want to think about it that way, there's the parent theme that provides all the structure, and then the child theme is the extra customization. Now, child theme is usually more than just a few color changes, like someone put a lot of changes into it, but still they didn't have to like start from scratch. What I've done with all of my themes, I'm working on a theme from scratch right now. So eventually one day I can sell it to you guys and go, ta-da. But on my website, all of the themes I've had have been child themes. I've purchased themes from other people that have done really great work, and I see a vision for what it could be beyond that, and then I code it up and make those changes. So that is your long answer for what child themes are. So Fiona, give me a thumbs up if you think you understand what a child theme is. It is so tedious to build a theme from scratch. I do have MAMP open. I could even show you how tedious it is. Yeah. And then I'll probably let you guys go so you can enjoy the rest of your lunch and or evenings, depending on where you are. So for you guys, this is the theme so far. If you notice, there's almost zero CSS in here. This is all PHP and functions, what you're not seeing. So everything you see over here is all of this here. So you have to write. So right now it's called Meteor 2 because I just have random names for stuff. But you have to write all of this PHP, all, you know, all of this right here is just so your comments work. You know, so I haven't even gotten started on styling and getting things going. So yeah, so it's a lot of work just to basically get the function of all of your pages loading, you getting drop-down menus. This will be a sidebar, but without CSS here, it just throws the sidebar here. There's no colors, there's no lines. So by creating a child theme, you're not having to start from scratch. And this honestly is like 40% done. So when you choose to do a child theme, you're basically 80% done and you're just doing 20% work on top of it. So this is what a site looks like when it's very, very raw. It's very new. Don't be too scared. But like I said, that's why you back up your site before you touch PHP. I work on stuff locally, which means it's not up on a server, it's down here, so I can easily fix something that's broken. But whenever I touch PHP on someone's site or my own site, I always make, if they have Updraft Plus or they might have backups built into their site, I always make sure they have a backup within the last 24 hours before I play with something, so that if for some reason I can't reverse what I did easily, I can always say, okay, I give up. You just use a backup on your site, and then you just start fresh that way. Okay, well, I think I will let you ladies go. Tammy, comment on the post or email me and let me know how your landing page goes. I'll be excited to see it. And Fiona, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I will see all of you guys later. I hope you have a great night. Goodbye.